You know, I think it's pretty crazy. We're looking at the better part of 2 decades since the Hulk was given the main spotlight. And no, I'm not just talking about the movies. Although it is pretty wild to see Hulk now just being in the background of other characters' movies. And the same goes for games. Hulk is everywhere the Marvel brand goes, but again, as part of the great Marvel universe, and never the central character. But there was a game, oh yes, there was a game, that exclusively focused on the red-hot rage of Bruce Banner, allowing players to let loose and have a complete meltdown that could bring down an entire city. Which is why this week, I'm asking, have you heard of the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction? Developer Radical Entertainment had already had a crack at the adaptation of the 2003 Hulk film, which was, well, it wasn't bad actually, but it fell into some pretty terrible concepts, like extended Bruce Banner sequences where the goal is to not be the Hulk. How dramatic. But 2 years later, they returned with the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which was a bit odd considering there wasn't a movie coming out, and it looked a lot better than the last game. Heck, it looked an awful lot like the Spider-Man 2 game, which had dropped only a year before, and it surprised fans and critics alike with its revolutionary traversal system. Now, if Spider-Man is graceful, Hulk is reckless, running up the sides of buildings, air dashing into cliffsides, smacking vehicles on the city street, jumping through the city like a wrecking ball, and make no mistake, if all you want to do is run around and destroy everything, this game is all about it. Hulk might be a hero, but you'll catch many innocent people up in this chaos. In fact, any sort of morality system you might expect in a Marvel game is completely absent. You see something, you can smash it, thrash it, explode it, and any other variety of violent verbs. Try saying that 3 times fast. You can grab practically anything and hurl it into an enemy. Then you can take the remains of said enemy and hurl it at another enemy. Heck, you can go so far as to cause enough destruction to level entire buildings. We'll assume everyone inside ducked. Now, you might assume this becomes more complex during the game's several hours of story missions, and kind of, but not really. Every scenario boils down to attacking or defending. That's it, and that's all. But even when tasked with protecting a building or gathering a piece of equipment, Hulk is woefully overpowered, able to annihilate everything the army can throw at him. Heck, in plenty of cases, it's easier to stop whatever you're busy with and simply thrash whatever's attacking Bruce. And this is, without a doubt, Ultimate Destruction's most audacious design choice. There are no aliens, no mind control, no grand conspiracy. Hulk is literally fighting the United States Army, and more often than not, he wins. As in, the army retreats. Or perhaps no one survives the Hulk rampage, and the wanted system will literally go back to zero. The sound goes from screaming radio chatter to creepy dead silence in an instant. Considering this was released in 2005, it's an especially bold direction, but it's far more authentic to the history and tone of the character. So the story must be good, right? No. Look, the holy trinity of comic book creators Lee, Ditko, and Kirby, forever shall they reign, bequeathed the world with the Hulk. But his general lore has always been, pretty inaccessible. Now you pour on all the pop culture cachet of the movies and the TV shows, and everyone has different expectations of what makes a true Hulk story. And I kinda doubt anyone wanted a story about Devil Hulk. You know, the extra evil version of the Hulk that lives within Bruce Banner's subconscious? Anyone remember this? From the comics? No? Well, too bad. He's the villain, or at least a villain, and the reason Bruce reaches out to his close friend, Doc Samson. Wait, that was supposed to be Doc Samson? Yep, even if they just call him Leonard the whole time. What's even more confusing is Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination, is here too, and he's also having visions of the monster inside him. I assume this is some sort of mirrored allegory between the characters. You know, Bruce must overcome his internal problems before he can save the world. Whatever, it sucks. So if you're a Hulk fan coming here for story, it's not really here. Thankfully, the gameplay is so good, even 20 years later, that you won't even care. The feel of Hulk's locomotion is tangible. Every turn feels like a cruise ship hurtling down a busy street. Every punch could shatter a humble planet. Every jump as if it could cave in the ground below Hulk's busy green feet. And that's thanks to the brilliant simple mash and charge system. Pretty much everything can be charged up to max strength. Heck, even the charges can be charged into ultimate variations, raining down billions of army equipment and pieces in the slow motion of bullet time, which is aged, just wonderfully. Having played the game upon release and this week, I can firmly say the force slowdown can drag on a bit, but perhaps that's the point. You know, to entice the player. Ooh, look at this cool thing. Don't you want to destroy it? Are you already mashing the buttons? Don't you wish we would hurry up and let you smash it already? And psychologically speaking, it works wonders. Ultimate Destruction does enter some Earth Defense Force territory with how far it's willing to push the chaos. But every time a new mecha enemy appears, appears, a new giant robot, or a new move gets unlocked, it suddenly feels like a new toy. Seriously, it's been generations, and no air attack has ever felt more satisfying than this insane cannonball. Just look at it! And there's a genuine sense of strategy as time goes on. Hulk learns several new abilities like mashing cars into a shield from incoming attacks, or creating makeshift metal gloves for extra damage punching, or turning light poles into javelins to impale Hulkbuster units. Overpowered? Yeah, kind of. Relying on the same 1-2 combos will crush the basics, but by the end game, Hulk will greatly benefit by recognizing the advantages presented in every situation, throwing missiles back, mapping out which objects to use first, and believe it or not, it can actually be quite easy to lose, which is why I saw the game over screen plenty of times, which is a bit perplexing canonically, like what's happening here? Hulk, you're invincible, get up. But Ultimate Destruction is the kind of game where you're either untouchable or downed in seconds, so if one strategy isn't working, it's probably because you're missing a major set piece. Like, disguising Hulk as a car. Yes, really. Okay, sounds great, so where can I play it? Well, you can't. Or at least it's not going to be as easy as loading up PlayStation Network. At some point, the developers lost the license and actually sort of revived the series' mechanics in an original concept, the Grimdark Prototype 1 and Prototype 2, which is available for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and really deserves its own video, so let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see. Now, if you want to crack at Ultimate Destruction, you'll need to track down a copy of the game for the PlayStation 2, GameCube, or Xbox. And good news, all three versions are pretty great. And the same goes for emulation. I was able to get Ultimate Destruction running fairly accurately on PC SX2, with only a bit of shadow issues that ultimately made me switch over to the GameCube version on Dolphin, capping the frame rate to the original's performance while greatly upscaling the graphics. And several times during my playthrough, I had to remember this wasn't a modern game. Seriously, if Disney could hammer out a deal with Activision, this would be an easy hit, and much better than the 2008 Sega game, which simply didn't recapture the magic. The Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction isn't the most complex game. Heck, it's just a 3D beat-em-up in the era before developers really nailed melee combat. And every time it attempts to get a little deeper with its story, it can be a bit cringe. But as an experience, booting up a game and running headlong into the city to rip apart buildings and robots without any other goal in mind, it's just pure spectacle. Radical Entertainment took all the fun of Spider-Man 2 and Grand Theft Auto and injected it with gamma radiation rage. They didn't just knock it out of the park, they smashed it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. How about letting us know if you ever had a chance to play Hulk Ultimate Destruction in the comments below? How about Prototype, or that terrible 2008 game? Keep clicking around here on Game Rant, and we'll see you next time.